Coming up on Cruise-In.
These cars were so ugly, they couldn't even give them a name, so they just gave them a number.
This one's a 202, and it's not that ugly.
As I explained, it's a one-passenger limo.
One passenger, and they're dying to get that spot. Some guys spend no expense on their restorations.
Cushions from lawn chairs.
And others, they do have a budget.
My dad gave it to me last year for my birthday.
That's the best birthday present ever.
I bought it in 1961.
54 years later, and it still looks new. Cruisin' from Halliday Winery starts now. This week on Cruise-In, we're gonna give you a little bit of culture. We're right on the shores of Lake Milton at the Halliday's Winery weekly cruise. There's beautiful views and even more beautiful cars, so grab your favorite bottle of red and let's get started. All right, Donna, so I've been told this is your first car ever.
Yes, I bought it in 1961.
1961, huh? What do you have behind you?
It's a 348. It's a 60 Chevy with a 348 4-speed.
Now, how do you keep a car from 1961 looking like this? I mean, this is in pristine condition.
We parked it in 1965 because my husband wanted to buy a new car, and I said this car wasn't going, so we parked it. And then in 2011, we got it out because my husband was getting bad and he wanted the car done, ready, so I could drive it and he was going to be able to hear it.
Oh, that's so cool. But you got to be pretty happy that it's back out and you're driving it around again, huh?
Yes, yes.
This is, I mean, I love the layout, everything, but what's really intriguing is that this thing is raced.
I didn't race this car, my husband did. We were dating, and he had a 57 Chevy that he was racing in Holland Drag Strip in Warren, and he bought a new car. So he couldn't race the new car, so he talked me into trading cars. I got the new car, and he took this car and he raced it.
How many races do you think this one's been in?
Oh, a lot, a lot. All those stickers are all stickers that he won.
A lot of victories under its belt?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was hard to beat.
Yeah. Now, is it tough for you not to let that speed go out there on the road? Because I got to imagine it's got to be really tempting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, it's not very inconspicuous either. So if you go flying by, they're going to notice you when you go by.
They can hear me coming.
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome. So this is your first car. How many cars do you think you had total in your life?
Between the two of us, 50.
Is this the one that means the most to you because it was first?
Yes, yes. The color is red and white. I went to Harding High School in Warren, and our colors were red and white.
I bet you would have never thought, here you are, how many years later, it's still going to be in this good a condition.
No. Yeah, it's just original. There's nothing been done to it. It's just...
Oh, so you haven't had to redo anything on it, really, huh?
I had a paint job put on it because it was pitted down in the bottom. It sat in a cabin back in our woods for about 15 years, no heat, no air. Everything came out and they cleaned it all up and redid it, painted it, and then it came back home.
It still runs like a dream, huh?
Oh, yes.
Well, it'd be a lot of people's dream to have this. You've had it for a very long time, so congratulations, and thank you so much for showing it to us.
Thank you.
All right, Pete, this is a beauty here. What do you got?
Well, the history of this car is two gentlemen in 1954 went to California, and they saw a car finished like this. It's a 1939 Ford Cabriolet. My friend Gus never finished the car. He passed away 30 years ago. His brother Pete inherited the car. I worked on him for over 20 years to buy this car. 2003, November 4th to be exact, we brought it home. I had it on the road the next summer. No top, no interior, and we took to Lancaster, Ohio to a lead sled meet. Since then, I put this engine together. I put an overdrive. It's a 49 flathead with a 49 overdrive. And it's just a nice old car. I'm not going to change a thing on this car. It's going to stay just the way it is.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. So now that it's restored up to, you got the interior in there, obviously, and the top.
Yes,
do you get a lot of questions about exactly what it is? Because it's a little bit different than just your regular Cabriolet.
Well, you got to realize the original car is probably this high.
Yeah.
So already they dropped it 8 inches, plus the suspension has a dropped axle. I mean, those guys, to me, were ahead of their time to do this.
Now, the 20 years you worked on getting this car?
No, I didn't work on it for 20.
Well,
I
no,
worked on my buddy for 20 years.
Trying to get it from
buy
him.
It out of his
Yeah.
garage. He inherited the car when his brother passed away.
Wow, 20 years. So is it just like a phone call a month, or you every couple of weeks?
Well,
you
I
ever
see him all the time,
Yeah.
but you know.
So finally he was like, I'm just sick of you asking. Here you go, you can
finally,
buy
I
it.
just harassed him long enough, I guess. There you go.
Well, it's worth. Persistence pays off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's a great story and a great car, and we appreciate you showing it to us.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Coming up.
It's like a junkyard dog. Its bark is a lot worse than its bite.
Looks like it can bark pretty loud. Next on Cruise-In. Now back to the Halliday Winery's Thursday night cruise on Cruise-In. All right, Bob, well, this is an attention grabber if there is one. What do you got here?
It's a 1966 Mercury Comet. The model's a 202. These cars were so ugly, they couldn't even give them a name, so they just gave them a number. But it was a basic transportation vehicle when it was built. Came from the factory with a 6-cylinder and very few options. Power steering, automatic transmission, and a cigarette lighter.
Well, it seems like there's plenty of options now. What have you upgraded on here? Just everything, front to back?
Yeah, basically every nut and bolt that could be turned on this car has been removed, replaced. It's a unibody car, so it's not a frame-off restoration. And actually, this thing it's like a junkyard dog. Its bark is a lot worse than its bite. It's a fun driver on the freeways. It's manual steering, manual brakes. My wife drives it on the freeways. And it's really an easy vehicle to drive. It looks intimidating because of the axle, but I enjoy driving it. This is the fun part of the hobby.
And you get the little guys passed out in the back, so it's a soothing roar that it has.
This thing, he likes the bounce and the roar, and I've been told it rides like a 4-wheel drive S10 pickup. It does ride firm, but it's comfortable as a 60s vehicle could be. The only thing I didn't do on the car is I didn't letter it. Bob's Garage is, I have a garage. My name is Bob. Your first name?
Will.
And you have a garage?
Yes.
Well, then you have Will's Garage. And a lot of the gassers from the 60s were sponsored by a garage, so I figured, oh, what the heck? And so this came true. And then I wanted to use my phone number when I grew up in Garfield Heights, Ohio. But the gentleman lettered it said that number might still be in use. So this is our actual phone number for home. And the prefix in Ravenna back in the 60s was AX. So the axe goes with all the skulls and the skeletons.
Okay.
So it all kind of worked together. That was my wife's idea, that prefix on my phone number.
I like it. It's original. I like it. That's good. I mean, the whole car seems very original. Did you have an outline or a plan in the beginning, or have you just kind of been almost freestyling as you went along?
Well, I've always been attracted to gassers. Gassers, those guys that drove those types of cars in the 60s, that was right on the fringe of insanity. Those cars were they were intimidating looking, just parked. They were designed to go very fast and very straight. So this is an extreme example of those cars. But I'm trying to make it more period correct for that era.
Well, I'll tell you, it's absolutely gorgeous. And the skulls was just, so you just want to give it that kind of a bad boy feel to it, like you said, the old gassers?
Yeah. And the gentleman that lettered my cars, Wild West Paint Works, he's in New Philly, Ohio. He built some wicked hot rods. But when I painted my factory, the original hood, as I was shooting across the front of the hood, I stepped on the hose and stopped the gun for a second, and I got a couple real juicy runs here. And I always planned on sanding it back down, redoing it. Well, he pinstriped all the runs so you can't see them now, so they're camouflaged. So it'll stay like that. So.
Wow, very, very cool stuff, man. We appreciate you showing it to us, and it's an awesome ride.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the compliment. This is for all the guys that build them in the backyards. It's like a throwback from the guys that did them in the 50s that You know, there's $100,000 street rods running around out there. So this is really this is a bargain basement hot rod.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks great, and if I saw that thing in the bargain bin, I'd grab it. That's for damn sure.
Thank you, thanks.
All right, Randy, well, you look like you're a millionaire from Mad Max or something with this bad boy rolling up in here. What do you got?
This is a 1926 Model T, but it's not. It's a T bucket, which was converted from the old Model Ts that were 18 million sold. By the 20s, they had run their course pretty much. People were buying other cars, so the Model Ts were gifted to the kids. So the young people were taking the Model Ts and converting them over to hot rods.
Oh, so where did you come across your hot rod? How long ago did you get it?
Well, I've only had it since April. My wife had a white convertible, and it was totaled in an auto accident. So I had promised her that we would replace that. So on her birthday in August, I called her and I says, honey, I got you another white convertible.
It probably wasn't quite the white convertible she was expecting.
Well,
huh?
She wasn't completely pleased with that at first, but she loves it now.
The interior is very cool to me too. It's almost fashionable at the same time as it's a hot rod.
Cushions from lawn chairs.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd never know. You'd think they match perfectly.
Thank you.
And
that was my idea, not hers.
Did you have to go out and find those, or were those just laying around in the backyard?
Well, no, I actually went and purchased them.
Oh, okay.
I did the right thing.
So some people are going out looking for carburetors. You were looking for lawn chair seats.
Right.
That's what you're looking for. Tell me a little bit about the front too. I mean, it remains exposed all the time. Is this a car you obviously can't drive it on bad weather or anything?
Obviously, there's no top, and the engine's exposed. So you have to find a day like today, which unfortunately are few and far between, to be able to drive it. So it's about the fourth time out this year.
And the grill is very different as well.
It's a Mercedes-Benz grill.
I noticed that emblem. What is that?
Right. That throws them off a little bit because they don't know what engine it is. It's a Cadillac engine and a Mercedes grill on a 26 Ford T-bucket. So it could be a rat rod, it could be a pickup truck, and it could be a hot rod.
It's a little bit of everything.
Exactly.
It's a mutt. That's what it is. It's a mutt, but it's a beautiful mutt. So obviously it's a hot rod. Do you ever get it out there and open it up a little bit? How fast
it'll
does it
go as fast as you want to go.
Really?
Because the thing only weighs about 18 or 1900 pounds. With this great big Cadillac engine, it could go very fast if you wanted it to.
And I got to imagine it's turning heads everywhere you go. People got to be getting second looks, huh?
I get thumbs up everywhere.
Do you ever little kids ever running up asking to sit or anything like that?
Absolutely, and I love it when the kids come around because I encourage them to jump in the car, get their picture taken.
And I got to imagine your wife probably, even when they ride by, the guys even look and say, oh, look at that. Hey, look at that car she's got over there.
Yeah, it turns a lot of heads, and A, it's very noisy, and B, because it's pretty cool looking, you know.
Do the neighbors think you had a Harley pulling up the first time you brought it or anything
The
like
neighbors know when I come home in the evening, and they know when I leave to go to a car show.
Well, it's very, very cool. If you had to pick something on the car that's your favorite, what's your favorite part of this car, do you think?
I would say the engine and the unique air cleaner. It's on sideways right now, so now it's a ram induction. If I wanted to make it regular induction, I just turn it the other way.
Wow. Appreciate you showing it to us. It's awesome.
You're welcome, Will.
Coming up.
Pulled into a little country inn on the other side of Pittsburgh, and I think I really freaked out the people working there.
I wonder why. Next on Cruise-In. Welcome back to Cruise-In. All right, Rick. Well, people are dying to see this one of the car Cruise-In here. What do you got?
This is a 1994 Buick Roadmaster S&S hearse. It's basically a Buick Roadmaster estate wagon that was lengthened 28 inches. It's got the LT1 detuned vet engine.
This is, you don't see people drive around hearses very often. This is, but you seem extremely proud of this bad boy.
Well, it's one of the two. Yeah. The other I drive every day. This is the show car.
The custom paint job, I mean, you did
the
all
guy
yourself,
before me had owned a haunted house down in Kansas. That's actually a decal, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the haunted house theme, did you carry that up here from Kansas up to Cleveland?
Yeah, we do a small haunted house for the community around Vienna, Ohio for free. So it's kind of expanded, and this kind of encompasses several different hobbies that I have, you know, collector cars, the haunted house thing.
And they all combined into one?
Yeah, it all kind of
costly
ties
expense,
into
right?
one package.
Yeah. You know, the best hobbies cost a lot of money though, so that's not.
Oh yeah. Thankfully, the hearses still aren't too expensive unless you try to find parts for them.
So that's crazy. So you could find hearses, you just can't find hearse parts.
Right, that's the problem with all the hearses. They're generally from the cowl forward or standard equipment. Like I said, this started out as an estate wagon. However, this is all fiberglass from here back. And the rear end, the back bumper is a stock bumper, but the license plate surrounds different.
Wow, so they're extremely customized.
Right, you can't just go out into a junkyard and find a Roadmaster and find parts for it.
What got you into hearses? Was there something originally, or?
Probably goes back to when I was a kid building Johann models. They had the Holland hearse, which was a 66 Miller Meteor Cadillac, and my first hearse was a 70 Miller Meteor.
So when you drive around a hearse on a daily basis, what kind of looks do you get from people?
Depends on the people. Just last weekend I pulled into a little country inn on the other side of Pittsburgh, and I think I really freaked out the people working there. Once they realize that it's not in service, it's kind of a joke, and we were sitting in the bar and I was having a lot of fun with the locals. We were offering hearse rides, but for some reason nobody took us up on it.
It's, does it scare you? A lot of times I ask people if the little kids always run up and ask to ride in the car. I don't think you're getting a lot of little kids trying to ride in here, are you?
The women don't want to ride in it. As I explained, it's a one-passenger limo. You might as well ride in it now while you can remember it, because next time you are not going to remember.
All right, so I have to ask you the question that everyone's probably wondering. Have bodies ridden in the back of this at some point?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure that my second one was probably what they call a first call unit, because it was kind of rusty. First call is what goes to the hospitals to pick up the bodies and brings them back. Then you put them in the nice one to go to the funeral home.
So this is the nice one. This is what you.
This is the nicer of the two,
before after they shine you up, they shine this up and they put you together and take you off.
Yeah. So.
That doesn't creep you out at all, riding around with it?
Not at all. I mean, when you ride in the front, it's a regular car.
That's true.
And they ride nice, and I haven't checked the mileage on this one for a while, but the other one will get up to 26 miles to a gallon on the freeway.
Can you confirm or deny that it may be haunted?
Absolutely not, maybe.
Coming up on Cruise-In.
A lot of people say how rare it is and you don't see too many of them, and they're right.
This father-son project, a rare Ford Ranchero, is next. Now back to the Halliday's Winery Thursday night cruise on Cruise-In. All right, Ken, this is a beautiful ride you got here. What do you have?
A 1958 Ford Ranchero.
Wow, first of all, the first thing that jumps out at you is the color. How did you pick that color?
Me and my dad picked it out because he's got a retractable, and it's the same color.
Oh, so you're looking to make them twins?
Yeah, yeah.
And this is a special project with you and your dad, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Oh, it's kind of a family thing, but yeah, I wanted to do something with my dad.
Oh, very cool. And this is, so where did you come across it? Did you guys go out and buy this, or is it something that's been in the family? Or?
It's been in the family. My dad bought it in 1980, and it's been just sitting in the garage all this time until 4 years ago, and we got it done.
So just begging to be worked on, and there it was for you guys. That's very cool, very cool. So it turned into almost like a family project for everybody, but it was special with you and your dad.
Yeah, when he was a kid, he used to work on engines and stuff all the time.
Yeah, how much work did you do on this engine?
Oh, from the ground up, everything's new except for the crank.
The exterior, all the bodywork, what type of shape was this in when you guys started working on it after it came out of the garage?
It was in pretty good shape. Just the tops of both fenders were kind of rotted, which is normal, typical for the in the 50s and stuff.
Now, when he originally got this, was it sooner or later we're going to work on it, or was it just something that you never got around to? What was the situation there?
That's probably it. He buys them, and he said, well, we'll get around to it. And now that he's retired and stuff, he's still got a barn full of cars. But now we finally got this one around and did this one.
I gotta say, I love the detail on the side, and especially the pipes so you can step up into the car. Those are very cool. Was that from the original model, or is that
it's something my dad's era, 50s, spotlights and the side pipes and the cruiser skirts, just stuff that he liked, and so we put them on.
Well, that's cool that you're carrying on the 50s style with
Yeah.
this thing too. So now, how long is this yours now?
Oh yeah, like I said, my dad gave it to me last year for my birthday.
Oh, there you go. Well, happy birthday last year. That's so. Is it? It's that had to be a pretty exciting
Oh,
birthday
yeah,
gift. Best one you ever got?
Oh yeah, I cried.
How? So when you take it out, now, how often do you get it out to shows or cruising? Or things like
Whenever it's nice and we could go.
Do you get a lot of people out over looking at it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people say how rare it is, and you don't see too many of them, and they're right.
What's your favorite part of this car if you had to pick one thing on the car itself?
Well, right now my dad gave it to me, and we worked on it together.
Yeah. Now you switched out the engine though from what was in there when you guys first got it.
Yeah,
right?
when we first got it, it was a 292. It's a factory 352 what came with it, so we put a 352 back in it.
And then you guys did all the work on the
Yeah,
engine
we
from the
did
ground up,
we
huh?
did everything but the body and the paint and the glass and stuff like that.
How tough is it to find the pieces and parts?
It was pretty tough. Well, we have most of them. We needed a couple pieces of chrome here and there.
Well, thank you so much for showing us the car. It's a beautiful ride.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, it was a great day out here at Halliday Winery, right on the lake. A beautiful sunny day, tons of great cars and some great wine. And my man Crazy Dave here was spinning the tunes all day long. And Crazy, you got a nice little classic here yourself.
Yes, I do. 69 Chevy van. Love it. It's a perfect work truck. I can be in the show and haul my speakers and do the show. It's great. I love it. 36,000 original miles, and it's very rare. Most of them were used for delivery and crushed and beat up, and this one survived.
And that guy's gonna drive us home after we have a couple of these, right?
Okay, you got your license?
So that's it for us out here at the Halliday Winery. Come check them out. Live music Fridays and Saturdays. Every Thursday night is the Cruise-In Car Show. Crazy Dave will be here spinning the tunes. And of course, as always, thanks for tuning in to Cruise-In.